Welcome to Hi Now Daily. I'm Rachel Pocaro, and this is the Women in Business Takeover Show. Mahalo to our friends at Pacific Edge, which is a business and lifestyle magazine that was first published in January of 2006. Ooh, it's been a while. They showcase the accomplishments of Hawaii's diverse business community and emphasize the work-life balance that's such an important part of being a modern professional. Especially right here in Hawaii, they believe that Hawaii is the best place on earth to live and do business. And today we are focusing on their 2025 Women in Business. It's about powerhouse women leaders that are making waves in our community, who are sharing their individual stories, their challenges and successes, and their motivations, goals, and inspiration. And joining me live now to kick off our show is the founder, editor-in-chief, and CEO of Pacific Edge magazine. We got Naomi Hazelton, and really the one who runs the show at home, her son Ryan. Welcome to the show. How are you folks doing today?
We're fantastic. We're
great. Good.
We're
Okay.
excited.
This is nice. I heard you guys back there just chanting, I'm excited, I'm excited. And we are really excited to talk about the amazing women that's going to be on today's show, but also this mother-daughter, or mother-son, I should say, bond. That's why we're talking all women, but it's nice to have a fella in the building now, right? Let's talk story about this relationship that you folks have right now. I knew you have your son, single mom, raising him to the fine gentleman that he is.
Yeah, he's amazing. He really shows me what life truly is. He's the individual that says, Mom, you are working way too hard. Let's go get in the water. So he'll bodyboard, I'll swim. And once you get out of the water, you just feel so revived and more energized. And he keeps me humble. You know, he's a humble little man, and he keeps me humble, and he keeps me on my toes.
Keeps you on your toes. Okay, now let's talk about Pacific Edge magazine. You started that, we mentioned, back in 2006. What has that journey been like for you and your family?
That's a great question. You know, it was amazing being a part of Hawaii Pacific University, and Pacific Edge started as my master's program. Dr. John Hart at the time pulled me outside and said, this is an amazing business proposal. You know, you should run with it. It's business and lifestyle. And here we are 20 years later. How hard can it be? And, you know, every day's a gift, and we just keep on climbing. I think the inspiration really behind it is focusing on the leaders and the entrepreneurs who just take something from a complete, you know, just idea and make it come to life. And that's really the beauty also of, you know, always going through life and staying positive and saying, you know, I gotta do hard things. But by doing hard things, you just continue to grow and continue to go on a journey that you have no idea what's going to happen.
Yes. Now, I mean, speaking of journey, you've got your incredible son. We mentioned Ryan. I wanted to ask you what it was like growing up in this household with your mom. She is such a boss woman, doing all the things that she does, but also raising you to be an incredible man in this society. What was that like, having your mom?
Well, yes, of course, she is my mother, and she's one of the most amazingest person I could ever think of. She really loves me, and I think that's the most important thing that comes to my mind. She's very outgoing. She usually doesn't like me staying at home, so we'll go to the beach a lot. We'll go get food or something like that. But when I was younger, we lived in a house in Makakilo, and I couldn't really remember like my dreams or like the so anyways, but I love how far she has come from the beginning to the end, but I love that she can help me through all those ways and taking me to the beach, and she introduced me to the water. So
yes. No, you were talking about all the amazing things that your mom has done for you throughout your life, and if there's one thing that you've learned from your mom, what would that be?
I think one thing that I have learned from my amazing mother is just keeping your head up. Don't let it down. Don't go down. Things don't go your way. Just take a breather.
Take a breather.
Yeah.
That's always a good reminder, because sometimes we move so quickly in this fast-paced society, and you want to do your best, you want to reach for the stars, you want to do all these things, but sometimes it's nice to just sit back, relax, reassess, take a breath, whatever it is. And I think having mom and you together, that's one thing I think you mentioned to me that you help her out on, is that you see mom grinding and doing all these things, and sometimes you're like, hey, ma, just stop and smell the roses, yeah? right? So, I mean, having this relationship, this bond, what has it meant to you as a woman, as a mother, being here in Hawaii?
Well, every mom knows that your number one job is to be there for your child. That is the number one job. And it's easy to do because you have so much love. But your other job is your baby sometimes, right? And especially if you're an entrepreneur. And so there's a fine balance between the two. But at the end of the day, there was a specific incident that happened. We were doing distance learning when you were at Waikiki School, church school, and we were doing some spelling, and we were doing scissors, S-C-I-S-S-O-R-S, right? S-C-I-S-S-O-R-S on the board in the office. And the Cats in the Cradle song came on. And if anyone knows the Cats in the Cradle song, it talks about the fact that life goes very fast. And the number one thing that struck me about that song is I sat at that desk and I said, I am not gonna make work the number one thing. He is the number one priority. And at the end of the day, you find the balance and you find a way to weave through leadership and being great to your team and being great to the community, but also having the time and the inspiration within yourself to be the best you can to your nieces, your nephews, your aunties, your uncles, your grandma, your grandpa, and your family.
Gosh, I love that so much. As a mother, you're always wondering, am I doing enough for my kids? Am I at every event? Am I there for them enough? You ask yourself that often, but then you also have this balance of, am I doing enough at work? Am I doing what I love to do? And it's all of this just really encompassed into one. But I love the advice that you have. So thank you so much for sharing that and sharing this incredible bond that you have with you, your mom, everything. We're gonna, of course, continue with the Pacific Edge Magazine Takeover show here on Hainal Daily. But yeah, we'll sit with that in the break and just listen more to our thoughts and being engaged. And of course, this incredible bond. We are gonna take a quick break and we'll be back with more of Hainal Daily. Mahalo. Hey, that was great advice. I love that. It is vital for mothers and babies to get a healthy start, and it all begins with prenatal care. And joining me today is Candice Fajardo, March of Dimes Executive Director, and Kay Kabakungen of Hawaii Medical Assurance Association. She is a member there, and she is also an expecting mother. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Let's kick off with prenatal care and why that is so important for babies and expecting mothers.
So it's really important that you go to your checkups, that you're eating correctly, and make sure that you're avoiding any sick people, because you gotta take care of yourself. You're also taking care of somebody else. You learn about nutrition when you're there. You also have to have that support from, like the HMAA providers. You have to make sure that if there's anything that you feel, you bring it up right away.
That's where those mama instincts just start, is like during pregnancy, you start to notice things about your body and you start to be more in tune with it. Yeah. As we talk about the benefits that you have received and the services that you're able to take part of, tell me a little bit about how that has helped you throughout your pregnancy so far with HMAA and being a member.
Being a member, it's called the Baby and Me program. It's no cost, free for all members. And it's really supported me throughout my pregnancy journey, and not just for me, but also for my baby. Through this program, you are assigned an HMAA maternity nurse, and it works with my busy schedule as a first-time working mom-to-be. She's been really accommodating with not just my work schedule, but also my life schedule. Being able to call or email her directly in between these doctor visits, it's been really reassuring, just so I don't have to find these answers on my own or wait for my next doctor's appointment. So right when you sign up for the Baby and Me program, you quickly get in the mail the March of Dimes. It's a full informational kit. The fetal Doppler has been my favorite so far, and it allows me and my partner to bond outside of these doctor's appointments, being able to hear our baby's heartbeat and making sure that she's doing good along the way.
Yes, and then I've noticed this one. This is the Spectra breast pumps. It's something to help support you along your journey with your baby as well. Candice, I wanted to move over to you. Let's talk about this incredible partnership between HMAA and March of Dimes.
We are so grateful for the partnership that we have with HMAA. They are such a champion for our mission and helping us amplify what we do in the community. right now, 1 in 10 babies are born prematurely. And that's why it's important that we work with programs such as HMAA, and we partner with them, especially with their Baby and Me program, because they have the resources and we can collaborate together to ensure a healthy pregnancy. We have lunch and learns that we provide. We go into different offices, different businesses, and we talk about the importance of making sure that you get your prenatal care, making sure that you have a safe delivery. So that's why it's important that we really partner up. And this Baby and Me program is such a beautiful program that helps their members.
Now, if there are mothers out there who are watching this segment right now and they're thinking, hey, I'm an HMAA member and I would like to know more about these programs, about what March of Dimes can do for us and their resources as well, can you drop the website and all the information?
Absolutely. We also have a Compass app that includes all these informations to ensure that you have a healthy pregnancy and postpartum as well. And they can always call us at 808-295-9023 or our website at www.marchofdimes.org, Hawaii.
We're back with the Pacific Edge Women in Business Takeover on High Now Daily. Let me introduce you to our next guest. We have Susan Utsugi of Central Pacific Bank, and we also have Colleen McAlooney of Patsy T. Mink Center for Business and Leadership. And they've come together today for a unique and uplifting partnership. Hello, ladies. How are you doing?
Hi.
Good. We are going to have to talk about this partnership. Tell everybody about this Women Rise Collective and what it's all about.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rachel. So the Women Rise Collective is a program for nonprofit women executive directors. It's a leadership cohort, and it's in collaboration with the YWCA Oahu, the Patsy T. Mink Center for Business and Leadership, and Central Pacific Bank. And we started this because Central Pacific Bank and Patsy T. Mink Center also partner for Women Entrepreneurs program called We by Rising Tide, and we've had a lot of success with it. And we found that, this program is for small business, but there are nonprofit organization leaders who have similar challenges as business owners, running an organization, dealing with driving revenue and having to maintain costs and deal with employees and management. And there was a demand and a desire for a similar program. But we recognize that they also have their unique challenges. And so Catherine No, our former CEO of Central Pacific Bank, really drove this idea to bring this program to life so that we could address the challenges that women executive directors have and build up great leaders.
Absolutely, a great program to be a part of if you qualify. So if you could describe to us, Colleen, what the qualifications are for these wahine to be a part of this.
Sure. So they need to be women nonprofit executive directors who have at least 5+ years experience leading a nonprofit. Their nonprofit needs to generate between $1 million and $20 million a year in revenue. And they need to have at least 10 employees at their nonprofit.
Nice, and it's going on right now, and it's 4 months. You guys are seeing each other every other week. Tell me, how is it going so far?
It's going really well. We have 10 women executive directors in our program, and they are learning so much. The program is focused on helping them build additional confidence and empowering them to lead, especially helping them with their financial business acumen, to support sustainable growth at their nonprofit. Also building a robust network of support and mentorship for themselves to just, it's all about support, right? Bringing them additional support. And then also helping them with their their creative leadership style and being innovative in the way they lead.
When it comes to support, are you folks bringing other mentors in to give speeches and to talk to them? That's kind of where I find it's most beneficial, is where you get to actually talk to people and ask questions. Is that kind of how it's run?
Definitely. We have 9 sessions and we have a different trainer for each session. And we also have a facilitator that carries through Lisa Maruyama, who was the past CEO at Hano. And so we've had wonderful sessions on advocacy, on strategic leadership. Strategic leadership was led by Sarah Gay from the Hawaii Employers Council. We have financial business acumen coming up, and then we have a really exciting full day of board governance and management, and that's going to be led by Blossom Johnston from Idaho Network for Good. She's actually from Hawaii, from the Big Island, and she has lived in Idaho for a number of years and is the founder of this nonprofit that supports women and children in their community, or actually the state, and then also helping nonprofit executives.
Wow, beautiful. I love that this program even exists for our business leaders. It is a chance for them to really get together and just vibe off of each other, ask their questions, have that mentorship, but also the partnerships like we mentioned with CPV. Can you just tell us why it's so important for you folks to be involved with this?
Yeah, we have many programs that we support women in leadership, whether it be in business or nonprofit organizations, and within our own organization. And we really feel that empowering women to lead, build strong businesses, strong organizations, and ultimately strong communities.
Yes, and the best part of this entire program is that it's free for them, right?
Yes.
Very cool. With the help of the sponsors, of course, it is free. You had such success that you mentioned the last time I checked in with you folks with your other program. So we would love to see this program continue and grow throughout the years. If people wanted to get more information on that, where would they go?
Right. They can feel free to contact the Patsy Teamick Center for Business and Leadership. This program has been a little bit under the radar, but we're going to be announcing more about it, and especially about the upcoming second cohort next year. So just contact us right now. We don't have any information on our website about it.
Very well. Thank you, ladies, for joining me today, and of course, all the information. Good luck with the rest of the program. Now, Kainoa recently caught up with the president and CEO of Chamber of Commerce Hawaii. Check it out.
Hey, how's it, Aloha gang? We want to welcome in right now the president and CEO of the Chamber of Commerce Hawaii, Sherry Minor, as we talk a little bit about life, career, and how do we balance it all. Sherry, welcome in.
Thank you for having me here. Really, there's not a balance. There's no perfect balance, but I always encourage women, to find some me time, because it's important to focus on yourself as well. A lot of times as women, we tend to want to do everything, want to help others. We need to focus on that me time to build that mental health as well as our well-being. In terms of career, want to make sure that you have a career that you're passionate about, finding a purpose, finding your passion. And so when it comes to balance, it's more about kind of weaving both in together. I think every woman has their own way of doing it. I found out that having a solid circle of girlfriends where you can just let loose, have fun, whether it's sharing a bottle of champagne or even apple cider, whatever, dance and just talk story is so healthy, and that's what I found, that having that strong circle of girlfriends have helped me overcome some of the challenges that I have had.
So integral to support local businesses and be a part of the community. Why is that such an important facet?
That is so important because when you think about it, we're an island state. We're so community driven, especially the business community. When you compare to other states, our business community is one of the most charitable community of all the other states. One, aloha spirit, right? Two, the caring about our community. And so we're so proud as a Chamber of Commerce to present businesses across the state who give so much and who give back.
What is the best piece of advice you've received?
Well, the best piece of advice is believing in myself. When I first took on this job, there's this level of insecurity. It's like, okay, am I willing or am I able to do this? I had to find that comfort zone within me, and so I did seek advice. A CEO who broke barriers, broke the ceilings, and she had told me, you know what? You took on this job, own it, believe in yourself, and just push forward. To my 10th grade English teacher, Mrs. Meow, who actually told me you have to believe in yourself. So kind of full circle in reminding, it's constant reminders.
Sherry, what is one of the biggest challenges you've had to overcome with your career and having to navigate all these different situations?
I think just entering new territory, being the first female CEO of a 175-year organization, new environment, new territories. But again, going back to believing yourself, owning that, and also having guts. You can have the grit, you can have the passion, everything else, but you have to have guts to take that position or take that risk. And that's what I have found challenging, but also an opportunity.
Our next wahine being recognized in this year's Pacific Edge magazine Women in Business feature is Waikiki Health CEO Alexis Charpentier. Welcome to the show and congratulations.
Much mahalo. Thank you. It's a privilege to be here today.
Absolutely. Now you're talking about being here today, but let's back up a minute and just talk about what led you on this journey and how you became CEO of Waikiki Health.
Honestly, just believing in myself, knowing that I wanted to come back home and take care of our people here in Hawaii. Just so blessed to work with a wonderful team that has been doing this for many years. And so really working with a strong leadership team and a supportive board really helps me to accomplish what I want to do and really just help our people in vulnerable communities. I always wanted to be a doctor, and so I was pre-med. But after graduating and coming back home, after shadowing physicians, it wasn't for me. I really wanted to still help folks, but at the community level rather than the individual level. And so that's where public health came about. And my first job out of college was actually at Waikiki Health. So I was there for a couple of years, and from there I made my way to the Department of Health, where I did epidemiology work in HIV. After that, I was previously at Washington, D.C., where I was the director of prevention there. And I've always served on the board for around 5 years prior to getting this position. And so really it's full circle for me, having worked there, having been a patient there, a board member, and now a CEO. And I think it's so important that as a CEO and in any leadership position at an organization in Hawaii, it's important that the populations that you serve are being reflected in the leadership. So I'm that living proof, and I'm just happy that I can be an example and a role model for other locals here in Hawaii.
Speaking of role models, you've had some mentors throughout your life. Can you mention one that really has stood out to you?
Without a doubt, it has to be my mother. My mom has always been my steady rock and foundation of our family. She taught me and my sisters that we can accomplish anything in our life if we just believe in ourselves. She said it's not going to always be easy. We believe that how you truly determine or measure a person's character is based on how they react when they fall. So not always when everything is happening good or all, like working, but it's really more how do they pick themselves up and get back onto their goals or determination to get there. And so I'm very grateful for my mother. She's that living model for me, and I couldn't be here without her. So I love you, Mom. Thank you for everything.
Aw, so sweet. And then I wanted to move on and ask about goals for Waikiki Health. What are those?
Yes, so definitely goals. I do envision a healthcare system in which healthcare is easily accessible and affordable to everyone, regardless of ability to pay. That is Waikiki Health's mission, and in my role, I want to do all that I can to really leverage AI technology, machine learning, telehealth services, really to make sure that we're reaching out to these vulnerable communities who may not have a car, and so transportation is an issue. So bringing that care to them, I think innovative ways we could do that would be setting up healthcare little pods within the grocery stores, shopping centers, post offices, places where people go every day, so that we can again bring that care to them. And honestly, at the end of the day, I will be happy if we live in a world where healthcare is accessible, inclusive, and available to everyone.
Any advice for other women in business or just wahine out there?
Most definitely. I think really just believe in yourself. You can do anything if you set your mind to it. Really connect and surround yourself with a support system, friends, family who really believe in you. I think in life, as you get older, those numbers may dwindle, but really having that quality core group is important. And I would say surround yourself around those folks, help them, lift them up. They're going to be there for you when you fall, and you should also do the same for them. And really just helping each other, lift each other up, and you'll get there.
Aloha and welcome back to the Pacific Edge Magazine Takeover here on High Now Daily. Now, we've mentioned that we have been highlighting some of the incredible women in our community here with Naomi. Now you're gonna have to introduce a few of the women that we brought on just now.
They're all amazing women. We're going to get to know them in just a few seconds. But first, cheers, ladies, to being amazing. To innovation. Cheers.
Of course, I got the bottle. we're trying to be as authentic as we can here on the show today. So let's kick things off with a fun question. This is like an icebreaker to get to know the ladies here.
Let's do it. All right, let's start with Pam. Pam, what is your favorite way to relax?
So, as you know, busy women have limited opportunity to truly relax, but when I do have the chance, I love to prioritize my sleep. And I'm a huge game show network junkie, so I tune into Family Feud almost nightly with a glass of wine. So
I love Family Feud. It's always super funny.
Yeah, Will Garvey.
Yeah.
Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey, yeah. That's right. Steve Harvey would have got it right.
Something like I was close.
All right, next question.
All right, Chris.
Yes.
Biggest sacrifice for your career?
Wow, that's a good one. I'm going to have to say time, sometimes. I think as leaders, we kind of want to make sure that sometimes we have to go beyond the call of duty, just to make sure that we get everything right. We're supporting our team, we're supporting our community, and it really hasn't felt like sacrifice, I can look at my husband and he'll be, there when I get home, and so to me, I think he's probably made more of a sacrifice than I have, so I'm very grateful.
Shout out. Love
Oh, Cassie.
Yes.
Best beauty tip?
Oh, I would say sleep. Yes, I think if you can get a solid 8 hours, then you're like good to go. I would say that and maybe like retinol. Retinol and sunscreen. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Best Instagram. What's your favorite guilty Instagram following?
Ooh, so I'm from Kaneohe. So it's gotta be Kaneohe Farm Supply.
I love it.
So I follow them every now and then, and I gotta see if they're I'm a chicken mom, so I gotta see if they're bringing in new chicks. And then I run down to the store and try and pick them up.
Hey,
I love
that's
it.
pretty cool.
I love it.
I like that. She's a chick mom.
Colleen, what are you most proud of that you have created?
Probably most proud of the young women leaders that I've been fortunate enough to mentor and see their successes after they have had a chance to go beyond my programs. And then also for those that have stayed with me too and really risen through all their hard work and dedication to YWCA Oahu.
Love that.
Beautiful.
Do we have time for a few more?
We do. We have time for one or two more.
Shall we ask you one?
Hit me. Let's go.
All right. Do you believe people are at the whim of destiny or that they can create it themselves?
Whim of destiny, or I actually think it's a little bit of both. I do believe in destiny. I do believe that we are put in certain moments and spaces in time, but what we do with that moment and where we're at that second makes a big difference. So for me, I would say a little bit of both. It goes hand in hand. It has to, right?
Yeah. I would agree. All righty, Pam.
Okay.
I feel like a boss when?
I feel like a boss when I do something that I didn't think I could do. Like the other night, the washing machine wouldn't work, but I figured it out. If the vacuum cleaner breaks, I figured it out. So I feel completely boss-ish when I can do something that I didn't believe I could do.
Nice. Okay, we've only got a few more seconds.
Nice.
So if you want to just wrap really fast,
That's
when
good.
do you feel like a boss?
I feel like a boss when my team succeeds.
All right.
Like it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
When are you a boss?
Oh my gosh, when I'm around my husband.
Okay. When are you a boss?
At work, when my team are just flowing and I get to sit back and everything we've worked on, they're just making it unfold.
Boom. Colleen.
Yeah, well, when we achieve a successful project or event, definitely.
Awesome. And obviously, let's ask you, since you really are the boss lady today.
I feel like a boss when we're connecting. I feel like a boss when we are supporting positivity in the world. And I also feel like a boss when my son's around me because he makes me a better boss.
Beautiful. And I'm feeling like a boss right now because I just bossed you ladies around. Go.
bigger bottle.
Very true. I also feel like a boss when I finally put the clothes away that I folded and I left in the living room for like 5 days. Don't you feel like a boss when you finally do that? For me, that's always the hardest. All right, ladies, thank you so much for sharing a little bit more about yourselves with us today. We are going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more of Hi Now Daily, the Pacific Edge magazine takeover. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Cheers. Cheers. Aloha and welcome back to the Pacific Edge Women in Business Takeover show here on Hi Now Daily. We welcomed even more wahine who are excelling in their careers, and these ones here in the hospitality industry. We have Pam Cabrera, Cassie Simpson, and Chris San Nicolas. Thank you so much for being with me today.
Absolutely.
It was fun doing that little toss these questions around to get to know each other. So I figure let's do that a little bit more. Let's first start off with inspiration. When it comes to doing the work that you folks do in hospitality, where does the inspiration come from when it comes to leading teams and leading those around you?
Question.
Good question. Did you have some?
I can start. I think what gives me joy and gratification is that, you know, we are really promoting where we're from, right? Outrigger embraces the culture in which we do business. So because we want our guests to embrace Hawaii, I like to look for leaders who want to share that, you know, want to share the culture, want to share hospitality, and want to really just treat guests like this is their second home and make them feel comfortable and give them a vacation of a lifetime.
Yeah, that's such a Hawaii thing too. Is you want everybody to have an amazing experience, and I feel like Outrigger does an amazing job at that because of the people that they hire. And when it comes to leadership, and what inspired you to become a leader?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different things. I think, like me personally, I really look up to my mom, and I think she was kind of my first mentor, and she really, you know, taught me a lot about leadership very early on. And there's a lot of things that I feel like that I actually apply to my everyday, that I learned from my mom as a leader. And it's one of the best things, I think, is leading a team and, you know, implementing, whether it be change or process or influence, I think is one of the best things.
Yeah.
Agreed.
What about for you, Pam? What is it, how do you define success?
You know, my definition of success has evolved definitely over the course of my career. You know, when I first started out, of course, success meant dollars to me and how big of an office I had and how many people I had reporting to me. That was, in my mind, a benchmark of how successful I was. And then as I migrated through my career, success really is how many people I influence every day, and the ideas that I have and the vision that I have, and if I can see it come to life, that really, to me, is a really good measure of my personal success.
That is perfection. I find that in my line of business, like success to me is when we finish our interviews, but people feel good about themselves, about what we just talked about.
Right.
And so that to me is always the biggest compliment, is saying, I felt good about that. I felt comfortable. You made me feel like we were friends, right? So everybody's definition of success is different. And now sitting next to all these strong wahine, I have to ask, what are some tips for other wahine out there? And they're trying to lead their life of purpose, but also they're trying to find their way in the world. Do you have any words of encouragement or inspiration for them?
I was just going to say, you know, I think in our industry, as well as just being women, it's really important to lift one another up and be the biggest cheerleader we can for each other. It's hard enough every day to get through life, let alone with challenges that are ahead of us. So, you know, cheering loudly for our coworkers when we can, and providing opportunity, recommending them for leadership roles or promotions or just group projects. I think that would be the best way we can give back, is to just be each other's cheerleaders.
Nice. And we have just about 15 seconds left. What do you consider as your greatest success in your career?
Oh my gosh, my greatest success. Well, actually, you know, I think that being Hawaiian, but not from Hawaii, but then moved to Hawaii when I was 18 and continue to build my life here in Hawaii with my husband and get opportunities like the one I have at Outrigger. And I mean, this is just two of many amazing women that I get to work with every day at Outrigger. And I mean, I would say that's probably my greatest success, is that I've been given so many amazing opportunities here in Hawaii. And, you know, like I said, I get to work with some really incredible leaders.
Yes.
Yeah, at Outrigger.
If the opportunity presents itself, you take it. If it means moving back to Hawaii, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes, you're home. But ladies, thank you so much for sharing your time with me. That was such a beautiful, beautiful moment that you all were able to share with me. So thank you very, very much.
Shout out to our Outrigger team.
Yeah.
There you go. Shout out. All right, we're going to take a break and we'll be back with more of Hainao Daily. Mahalo.
Thank you.
It was fun.
Yay. Aloha and welcome back to Hi Now Daily. This is the Pacific Edge Magazine Takeover Show. And right now I'm sitting down with Lena. She is the CEO of Kalakaua Senior Living. One Kalakaua Senior Living, I should correct myself. Welcome here to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, I love learning that you are also a chick mom. So you follow that Kaneohe group on Instagram. But that's part of who you are. And I love that I'm getting to know all of the ladies here today.
It's been fun.
It's been so fun. Now let's talk a little bit about One Kalakaua Senior Living, CEO there. How did you get to that position?
Before this, I was at the Institute for Human Services, so I love helping our community and those who need a little bit of medical help and trying to keep them in the community. So One Kalakaua is a perfect next step. It's focusing on our kupuna, who I love very dearly, and I just get to spend the day with them and try and build the best care and best service for them in every way possible with a great team.
Great. That's like, I feel like has been something that we've been hearing throughout the day is that team is so important, right? Tell me a little bit about the team that you get to work with on the daily, and do you work with other strong female leaders?
I do. So when I went in for my job interview, I looked around the table and it was all women. And my first thought was, oh, mana wahine.
Yeah.
I've arrived in the right place for me. So I'm really fortunate. It's a bunch of amazing women. And we have some men too, to keep it balanced. But they're just very loving and very passionate about their jobs. And it's really cool to see women have different personalities and strengths and really get to, show who they are in the professional field, if it's running facilities or if it's running a dining room or HR. Very cool to see everybody share their gifts.
Absolutely. And now, what has been the most rewarding thing about what you do at One Kalakaua Living?
Well, I want to say take care of our seniors, but it's a little more than that. I think a lot of our kupuna have worked hard either in our community serving or as women or men taking care of the home. And so they deserve to have a break. So I love when they come to us, we do their laundry for them, we do their housekeeping for them, we cook dinner for them, we cook prime rib on Sundays, you gotta come by.
Prime rib on Sundays. Ooh, I saw you guys also have the butterfish over there too.
Miso butterfish, oxtail soup, we got salmon. So we have a great menu and it's plated and you can bring your family and guests. So it's just such a warm community that people get to enjoy and, just really live a good life. And, you've worked so hard, why not enjoy it?
Yes, okay, it's been fun chit-chatting and talking, and we're gonna be going to break in just a second, but before we go, if you had any inspirational tips or anything for anybody, any women listening in.
If you love healthcare, call us up. We are always recruiting for nurses and people even interested in becoming CNAs or going into the health profession. So we love volunteers from high school through college and beyond.
All right, go ahead and give her a call. Lena, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been really fun.
Thank you.
Yes, we're gonna take a break. We'll be back with more of Hi Now Daily. Joining me now is Aloha Care CEO, Francoise Cully Trotman. Now, I wanted to ask the first question. What inspires you or energizes you most about your job?
Aloha, and thank you for having me. The thing that I think gets me up every day and gets myself and my team excited is just seeing the profound impact we have on families in Hawaii. We are in a rare position to see how the work that we do touches lives and how it helps people to thrive in our islands. We have a whole person care, whole person sort of centered approach to how we take care of people. And it really just means that we're not just focused on their health insurance coverage. We truly want to make sure that they have access to the basic things, eases worries for us. So things like, are you doing okay with your utility bills? Or do you have educational goals? And so our programs are really structured that way to wrap around families and to really help them feel like they're thriving in Hawaii.
All right, now what does it take for those to succeed in the healthcare industry here in Hawaii?
Yeah. I think to do business in our islands, and particularly if you are in healthcare, the number one thing is to recognize that we are unique. So recognizing the diversity in our islands, recognizing that we're not just culture rich, but we have a certain set of values in Hawaii that we live, play, and work by. And being willing to respect that in your business dealings is the way for myself and my team. It helps with building trust in our communities. And so I think that that's the number one thing. Number two is being willing to innovate. Because we're unique, because people have specific needs, you have to be willing to innovate. And so for us, one of the things we're very proud of is pioneering a very rich, culturally appropriate Native Hawaiian healing service program. It's called Ke Aloha Mau. And it's open to all of our members because the people that choose to make Hawaii their home have also embraced some of the Native Hawaiian healing programs. And so we're very excited about things like that.
Being in healthcare, it kind of goes hand in hand with self-care. And with you being such a busy wahine out there, I know you just came in from a neighbor island today. What is self-care to you and how do you take care of you and your well-being?
Yeah, self-care has been a journey for me and it's been part of my personal growth. And the number one thing I had to learn is that it's not selfish to consider oneself. I've also learned that to be my best self, whether that's at work or with my family, I have to first take care of me, to offer people my best self. And so I make particular time for personal reflection, particularly in the morning or the evening. That's a commitment. And it doesn't matter whether it's 7 minutes or it's 15 minutes, you have to have that time to kind of have clarity of thought. And so that's pretty powerful when we think about all of our wahine leaders that are here in Hawaii, paving the way for others, having them just prioritize their mental health, their physical health. And then I make time for friends and for family to spend quality time with them because that also re-energizes me. I'm lucky enough to have friends and family that hold me accountable for making that quality time, and I think that's important too.
Very cool. I know being here in Hawaii, it really is all about ohana, your friends, your family, right? So having them, keeping you grounded, keeping you centered, you need that, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing your time with us and congratulations on being honored this year for Women in Business with Pacific Edge Magazine. We're going to have all the details on hainaldaily.com. Mahalo. Mahalo for watching the Pacific Edge Magazine and Hi Now Daily Takeover.